provisionally approved act will allow EU to freeze assets and impose travel bans. The EU will take on powers to freeze assets and impose travel bans on individuals involved in human rights abuses from next month, after the bloc's member states provisionally approved a European Magnitsky Act. The restrictive measures, set to be formally signed off on Human Rights Day on the 10th of December, marking the 77th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, would target those involved in crimes ranging from genocide and torture to arbitrary arrests or detentions. A leaked copy of the decision obtained by The Guardian says the legal act establishes a framework for targeted restrictive measures to address serious human rights violations and abuses worldwide. The EU does not currently have the right to enforce travel bans on individuals, as the competence lies with national governments, and its other sanction powers are geographically targeted. The Dutch government initiated a discussion on the EU developing its own version of the US Magnitsky Act last November following a resolution from its parliament in The Hague. The original US Act signed by Barack Obama in 2012 was designed to target Russian officials deemed responsible for the death of the Russian tax lawyer Sergei Magnitsky. Magnitsky was a Moscow lawyer and tax auditor hired to investigate a case of corruption in which a group of Interior Ministry officials managed to obtain a $230 million rebate from the Russian state by fraudulently taking over 3 companies belonging to Hermitage Capital, an asset management firm. The officials he accused had him arrested and thrown in jail, where he was beaten by prison guards. He died in custody in 2009 at the age of 37 after being refused medical treatment or family visits. The European Parliament has repeatedly called for the EU to adopt legislation similar to that enacted in the US to allow the bloc to target individuals irrespective of their nationality. The 8 members of the Nordic Council, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, the Faroe Islands, Greenland, and Åland, had said they would adopt their own act if the EU failed to agree. Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, which border Russia, already have such legislation. In 2018, a Magnitsky amendment to the Sanctions and Anti-Money Laundering Act was passed by the UK Parliament to give the government the power to impose sanctions on people who commit gross human rights violations. In July, in the first use of the powers, the British Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, announced sanctions against 49 individuals and organizations, including 25 Russians ranging from government officials to prison doctors and Moscow's top prosecutor, Alexander Bastrykin, a close ally of Putin. The EU framework will not carry Magnitsky's name, following lobbying by the Dutch government which argued that no specific state should feel targeted. Vladimir Putin had been so enraged by the US act that he banned the adoption of Russian children by Americans. Alexei Navalny, the Russian opposition leader believed to have been poisoned by the country's FSB domestic spy agency, told the European Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee that EU sanctions should target his super-rich compatriots rather than those directly involved in his attempted murder. He said, "There is no sense to sanction colonels or generals or some people who will definitely not travel a lot over the world and don't have lots of estates and bank accounts in Europe. The main question is why these people are poisoning and killing and fabricating the election, and the answer is very, very simple: money. The EU should target the money and Russian oligarchs, not just old ones but new ones, the circle of Mr. Putin. Just target Russian oligarchs." The new EU human rights sanctions regime was agreed by foreign policy experts from the 27 member states on Thursday and will be formally approved by ministers on the 7th of December, or more likely by written procedure on the 10th of December. Since you're here, joining us from India, we have a small favor to ask. You've read 4 articles in the last year. And you're not alone. Millions are flocking to The Guardian for open, independent, quality news every day, and readers in 180 countries around the world now support us financially. We believe everyone deserves access to information that's grounded in science and truth, and analysis rooted in authority and integrity. That's why we made a different choice, to keep our reporting open for all readers, regardless of where they live or what they can afford to pay. This means more people can be better informed, united, and inspired to take meaningful action. In these perilous times, an independent, truth-seeking global news organization like The Guardian is essential. We have no shareholders or billionaire owner, meaning our journalism is free from commercial and political influence. This makes us different. When it's never been more pertinent, our independence allows us to fearlessly investigate, challenge and expose those in power. Amid the various intersecting crises of 2020, from COVID-19 to police brutality, The Guardian has not, and will never, sideline the climate emergency. We are determined to uphold our reputation for producing urgent, powerful, high-impact reporting on the environment that's read by around the world. We've made institutional progress too, working hard to live up to the climate promises we made in 2019. We no longer take advertising from fossil fuel companies, and we're on course to achieve net zero emissions by 2030. If there were ever a time to join us, it is now. Your funding powers our journalism, it protects our independence, and ensures we can remain open for all. You can support us through these challenging economic times and enable real-world impact. Every contribution, however big or small, makes a real difference for our future. Support The Guardian from as little as $1, and it only takes a minute. Thank you.